Proud to the selection of NDC rally meet, Yamao Edin 4, Yamao Professor Jenana Opukwajiman, then the former Chief of Staff, Yednidimao, the former Finance Minister, Yednidimao, and Afi, the Sansumao, Tugui, Afede, and then His Excellency former President John Dramani Mahama, what the Dino, Aquacoma, NDC company for Amo Majatum. And in TC, a rally meet for the National Democratic Congress, Professor Jane Nana Opoku Ajimai. Where a professor was also a Minister of Education and was also a rally meet for the first time. Second time, also Ako rally meeting. And in after the selection, no headquarters said you see any name be the virtual.
I think the questions are, one, what's the criteria? What are the criteria we use? What other names came up? Whether this is just a short-term interest of the party, and what difference will she make because she had been on the ticket in the previous year, I think, the previous election, is that it? And then I think the final one is about grassroots having issues regarding what the age. I think that was the issue, whether she was popular enough in the age. Anyway, so let's try to take them one after the other. First and foremost, the criteria. According to our party's constitution, the flag bearer of the party makes that nomination and consults with the Council of Elders of the party and the National Executive Committee of the party. So that should be the number one. You cannot get through unless that process is gone through. That's the first one. Now, what criteria are we looking at? In fact, I'm taking the case of Professor Nana Jane. We've already gone through all the rigorous criteria in the past. So this is not like a new candidate who is now going to be examined for the first time. Effectively, she has gone through every rigorous examination, not just at the level of the party, but also at the level of the country. So you obviously see that to be an advantage. It's not like a new person who now we are going to be wondering what's going to be happening. Are there going to be some issues that we are not aware about? Are there some issues that the media is going to bring regarding maybe her level of integrity and stuff of that nature? So clearly, in terms of criteria, she obviously has met the highest possible criteria as far as the party is concerned, and also as far as the country is concerned. But if you want a little more, simple. We're talking about a running mate who obviously has got integrity. And I think there is no dispute about that. A running mate who, as opposed to another running mate that we have seen, is not going to be a completely discredited individual whose word cannot be trusted, who absolutely is an epitome of lies, of deception. It's going to be an epitome of honor. And that is critical, especially after 7 years of having seen the most discredited running mate in the history of our country. It's critical for us to make sure the person we are bringing matches that level in terms of supersedes that level of integrity, supersedes that level of credibility, has honor, has credibility, and can be trusted by the country. So in terms of that criteria, I would say her competence is not in doubt, her credibility is not in doubt, her character is not in doubt, and the people of Ghana clearly are looking for an individual that can be trusted. And their running mates represent that individual who clearly can be way, 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 way more trusted than the flag bearer of our main opposition. That all of you know is just an epitome of complete lack of credibility. So that is the criteria that we look at. Her competence, her character, her capacity, her loyalty, not just to the flag bearer, but to the party and to the country. And she passes all that with flying colors. Names that were presented. The flag bearer is supposed to make an announcement to us in terms of the presentation of the name that he has chosen. And that actually is what happened today. So the flag bearer came, this is my choice. So then the Council of Elders listened to that. Opinions are therefore brought. At the end of the day, the Council of Elders then brings out their view as to that. On the back of that, we now move to the National Executive Committee and do exactly the same process. So it's one clear name that the flag bearer brought. There's really no need for any additional name at all. There's no ambiguity about it. He was clear in his mind, and I think the response from both the Council of Elders and the National Executive Committee shows there is clear unanimity as far as that name is concerned. So in terms of names, that is about it. Now, is this in the long-term interest of the party or short-term interest? I'm not really too sure about where exactly this question is coming from. We have an election to win, and we are going ahead to win that election. It's not our responsibility to be, we cannot divine into the future. You understand? I mean, you know exactly the very fleeting nature of life. I mean, many of you just heard the news, for example, of a young politician who just passed away, poison. You never know what life holds for tomorrow. So you focus on today. The most important thing ahead of us now is the election ahead of us, and we are focusing on that. What difference does she bring? I mean, the difference she brings is simple. That if the people of Ghana in 2020 were not even sure at the time about the level of credibility she has, I think over the last 4 years, in addition to the previous 4 of the MPP, they have seen the reason why it is critical to have an individual who, above all, can be trusted by the country. So the difference she brings is that she is absolutely somebody Ghana can trust. It's somebody who can step in when the president is not available and do that job knowing that she loves this country and she will do what is right. And that is what we have constantly done for this country. We always present individuals who clear the mark of integrity, the mark of competence. We can't say the same about our opponents, especially if you've seen the recent one that they have presented, both the driver and the mate. Absolute disaster, absolute liability, both of them. So regarding those 4, I think those are the quick answers I can provide.